Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the Advanced CapCut tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 4, where I'll be showing you guys about the zoom in, zoom out, and the magnify effect. Okay, so how you guys will be able to do that, we will be understanding about all of this here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, now this is the workspace in which I'm going to work on. And first, let's import some videos. Okay, so as you guys can see, that I do have a few of these videos right over here. And let's take this video as well. And now let's open this up. And here you guys can see that I do have all of these videos right over here. Okay, so if you take a look uh, to all of these videos here, you guys can see that I do have all these videos as well. And if you do want to see the stock materials, what are the ones trending? Okay, so you guys can use these options as well. Okay, so firstly, if you do want to download, make sure to click right over here. Okay, and you guys can basically do that. And after that, if you do want to import it, you guys can basically import it as well. So now let's first come here, and from here let me just take this particular video, let me drag this down, and if I just play this video, let me show you guys how this particular video looks like. Okay, so this is how the video looks like right over here. And the thing about what we're gonna learn is basically about the zoom in and the zoom out effect. Okay, so to zoom in and to zoom out, what I'm gonna do first here is I will just come at the starting. Okay, so let me first zoom to fit the timeline. Let's come here at this particular point, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add up a keyframe right over here, and let's come to this particular position, and let's add another keyframe as well. Okay, and also let's come to the first keyframe over here. Let me add a keyframe into the position as well. Okay, so I will just come here in the second one, and I'll just add another keyframe in the position option as well. So I'm putting it in the scale and also in the position option. Okay, so now let's come right over here. Let's add another keyframe and another keyframe right over here. And now at last, I will just add one keyframe and one keyframe right over here. So now, once I just come at this particular position, now what I'm gonna do is till the time when I come over here, I am going to scale this one, let's say to 150. And now I am going to change its position as well. Okay, so let's come here and let's try to position it over here in the center. And now if you do want to zoom in more, let's try to zoom in more. Okay, so let's come here. Let me just zoom in more. And now let's see how it actually looks. And at this particular point, if you do want to zoom out again, okay, so you guys can come here, and let's say I will just add up a keyframe. And after that, after adding this keyframe, let's say I will just come over here. Let's type 100. And also here in the position, let's go with 0. And I will just go on with 0 as well. Okay, so let's see how it actually looks. So this is how you guys can actually create a zoom in and a zoom out effect. And again, now when it's going on quite well, and you can also just cut. Let's click on B from here. Let me just trim this down a bit from here. Now let's click on A to get my selection tool. And now I will just click on this right, and I'll just click on delete. And over here, now let's see how this transition looks. Okay, if I just play this one, and now let's put up a transition in between as well, that it doesn't look that great. Okay, so let's check what are the transitions that we have over here. So let's see this particular transitions. So yeah, I can just use this transition here in the center. I can choose the duration, which is zero point 0.5 seconds. That's fine. And now let's come here and let's select this one. And I'll just come to this keyframe, and I won't make any changes over here. But once I'm here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to scale this up. Okay. And I am going to change its position as well. Okay, so let me just move it right over here, and let's just scale it up. Let's just move it right over here. And also, let me just come here, move this playhead. And at this particular point, again, I will just go to 100. And I will just put 0 on the x-axis and also in the y-axis. Well, that's fine. Let's see how this particular video looks. You guys can see the zoom in and the zoom out effect. You guys will see the transition. And now you guys can see the zoom in and the zoom out effect again. And if you do want to make any changes, let me just place it right over here. Let me place it here as well. Now let's see how does this actually look. Or let's come here, and I want to just activate this clip again. So let's come here, let's play it up. And yeah, this is how it actually looks. And this looks quite well as well. Okay. So as you guys can see, and if you do want to stabilize the video, you guys can just turn on the stabilize mode, and just you guys can go for most stable. Okay. So let's come here, and you guys can see this particular video. And yeah, this kind of looks a lot better. And the same way, just turn on stabilize and go for most stable. And here you guys can see it's processing as well. Okay. So it might take some time, and we'll just wait. Well, now as this is done, now let's play it up. And here you guys can see after transition, this looks a lot more stable and it looks a lot more better. Okay. So if you want to reduce the image noise, you guys can also do that. Let me turn off over here. If you do want to apply motion blur and stuff, you guys can also do that as well. Okay. So this is how you guys can actually create a zoom in and a zoom out effect. Okay. And now I'm going to show you that how you can actually create a magnifying effect. But before that, let me just click on export, and let me just type zoom in and zoom out. Okay. So zoom in and zoom out, and I do want to save it over here in my resource file. Let's select the particular folder. Let's select the resolution of the video, and I don't have any audio over here. If you do want to check copyright, you guys can check if you do have an audio. Okay, so now let's click on export, and this video has been exported right over here. So now let's cancel this one. Let's go to menu. Let's go to file, and let's click on new project. I will just click on OK right over here. And again, I do have a new workspace. Let's click on import. Let's click over here. Let's take the videos, whichever I want to take. Okay, so I will just come right over here, and let's take this one as well, and I will just open these things up. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I am going to actually go with the magnifying effect. So now let's come here, and I will just take this one out, and what I'm gonna do is I am going to add this video over here in my timeline. Now let's click on zoom to fit over here in the timeline. And over here, once I play, what I'm gonna do is at this particular point, I do wanna zoom in. Okay. So over here now, to understand that in a better way, what I'm gonna do is I am going to duplicate this one. Okay. So I will just click on Control C and Control V. Okay. So I will just keep the same length, and I'll just come over here on top, and after coming on top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with mask. Okay. So let's come over here on the masking option. And from here, now I am going to mask this particular part over here at first. And I can choose that how much feather I want, or do I want some rounded rectangles. Okay, so now let's come here. Let me just place it over here, and the same way I am going to go, and let's come here, and now let's play it up. And I do want to follow the motion as well. Okay, like if you do want to follow the motion, you guys can actually follow the motion of this one as well. Okay, so now let's come back over here. Let me just move it back from here, and let's turn on tracking, and let's go with motion tracking. So let me just come here, and let me just increase the space, and let's go with both, and let's start. Okay, so here now I will just wait for some time. So now once that is done, let me just play it right over here. Okay, so from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, and I am going to trim it uh till this much. Okay, so I'm going to trim it right over here, and let's just trim this particular video over here as well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this rectangle. Okay, so let me just place it right over here. Let's choose the space as well. Okay, so I will be choosing on the space as well. Let's decrease the rectangle from here. Okay, and once you're done, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here, and let's see how it actually looks. Okay, so when it comes right over here inside my frame, okay, I do want to highlight it. Okay, so if you do want to highlight it, what you are going to do over here is you're gonna come here first, and you are going to create a keyframe. Okay, so let me just come right over here. Let me just place it right over here on top. Let me just place it over here on the back. And now let's come here and let me just make this outside layer only for this particular time a bit darker. Okay, and you can also scale it as well. Okay, so let's come here, and if you do want to scale it, okay, so you guys can just scale it and also change out the position as well. Okay, so if you do want to scale it, okay, so you guys can scale it and also you guys can position as well. Okay, so this is how you guys can work. But before that, let's go back first. Okay, so I will just come back right over here. And here now, let's see the mask. So as you guys can see, this is the mask which I have. So let me just place it properly. Okay, and I am basically going to come here, and at this particular point, I am going to add up a keyframe. Okay, so let me just add a keyframe right over here, and let's go to basic. And from basic option, I will add one in scale and one in position. Okay, so let's come here, and at this particular point also let's add one scale and one position. Okay, and let's see how it actually works. So I will just come here. Okay, so the same way, let's add a scale, let's add a position, and at this particular point, I will just come to this one. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to scale it, and also I am going to position it right over here. Okay, so let's try to position it right over here somewhere. Okay, and now let's see how this transition actually looks. So I just want you guys to zoom at this particular point. Okay, so let's come here, and here you guys can see I am just magnifying, but over here once he passes out, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add another keyframe, and now I want to go back to normal. Okay, so let's say right from here, okay, I do want to increase the size, and then slowly when it goes out, I also want to decrease the size. Okay, so let's say I will just come right over here. Let's add a keyframe. Let's add a keyframe. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, and I'm just going to go with 100%. And also over here, now I am going to go with 0 in the x-axis and also 0 in the y-axis. Let's click on enter, and the same thing. Let's come here. Let's look on the position, and this is how it will just move out. Okay, let's see from here. And yes, as you guys can see in this one, and if I just come to this one right over here, let me just scale it down to 100 as well. Okay, so now let's come here, let's just place it. So yeah, this one kind of looks good. So it's just matching it quite well. And over here, if you do want to increase the size accordingly, You guys can increase the size accordingly as well. And if you do want to make it understand in a better way, the best thing what you guys can do is just come over here and add some keyframes at this particular point. Okay. So once it increases, let's say once it starts, okay. So from this particular point, just add a keyframe over here. Okay. So you guys will have these other options over here. Like, let's go to remove BG. Let's go to mask. Let's go to this retouching option. Okay, so if you do wanna retouch, you guys can also use this retouching option as well. Okay, so let's check out different kind of animation. If you wanna go out with adjustment, you guys can actually work on with adjustment as well. Okay, so now let's click on basic, and from here let's click on blend, and from here I will just turn on the opacity. Okay, let's add one opacity right over here. Let's add one keyframe, but once I come right over here, I will just add another keyframe. Okay, so let's add one more keyframe right over here. So till here it will be fine. Okay, but after that, till from here, let's say let's add one more keyframe. Let's go to blend, and I'm going to keep opacity as 100 till here. But when I come to this particular point, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change the opacity maybe to 70%. Well, that I can just focus on this particular area. And once it comes right here, I am going to put out a 70% as well. But after that, I am going to keep this one as 100. Okay. So I'm just going to come here and basically make it 100. So now let's play this one up. And this is how the zoom in and the zoom out effect basically work. So I can just come here maybe and basically add another keyframe. So let's come here, let's add another keyframe, but I will try to keep it around 100. So yeah, this one kind of looks a bit better. So now let's just play up the whole thing. This is the magnifying effect. As you guys can see, you are magnifying onto that particular part and it's just moving out back again. So you guys can work with all of this, okay, all these keyframes right over here. And lastly, to save it, let's click on export. And now I will just type magnifying effect. Let's click on the folder. Let's click on desktop. Let's click on the resource file. Let's click on select folder. Now I will just click on export and it will get exported accordingly. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we're gonna learn more about CapCut and its usage. So see you all. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.